Yes, my friends, the NFL schedule is out, and with it comes a harsh reality that Browns fans haven't wanted to face but need to understand. The 2025 Cleveland Browns are heading into the season with more than just a chip on their shoulder. They're headed straight for what could be one of the most grueling and unfair starts in the entire league. And no, it's not just about opponents. It's about rest, logistics, primetime buys, and a brutal schedule that almost seems intentionally stacked against Cleveland. But before we go any further, hit the like button if you're a die-hard Cleveland Browns fan. If possible, comment something like this: "My heart bleeds orange and brown." First, let's address the elephant in the room. No primetime games. None. The Browns are one of only 3 teams that have been completely shut out of the national spotlight. And while some fans may chant Cleveland versus the world, the truth is harsh but fair. This team won just 3 games last season. The NFL doesn't rely on unpredictability at its top spots, and without a clear starting quarterback in week 1, it's no wonder the league has kept them off the schedule when the spotlight is at its brightest. But here's the rub. While the technical definition says they don't have primetime games, one matchup, the international game in London, can still carry that home field energy. It doesn't take place in the usual nighttime window, but it's a standalone stage, and for Browns fans, it might be the closest thing they'll get to a spotlight this year. Now, while some might not mind playing Sunday at 1 p.m., Brent Delpit even tweeted, "I like playing on Sunday at 1 o'clock anyway, so works for me." The deeper issue lies in the schedule structure, specifically the net rest days. And here's where it gets ugly. The Browns are tied at the bottom of the league with a -7 rest day differential. That means, over the course of the season, they'll be on the field with less recovery time than their opponents, and that deficit can be the difference between fresh legs and fatigue, between a win and another loss. Take week 3, for instance. Cleveland hosts the Packers. In week 2, both teams play, but here's the twist. Green Bay plays Thursday, while the Browns play Sunday. So when week 3 rolls around, the Packers stroll into Cleveland with 3 extra days of rest. It doesn't stop there. Week 5 sends the Browns to London to face the Vikings. Meanwhile, the Vikings are coming off a game in Dublin the week before, short hop, minor time shift. But the Browns? They'll either fly straight from Detroit or make the cross-Atlantic jump from Cleveland midweek. Either way, Minnesota gets the advantage, already acclimated to the time zone. And it only compounds. After London, most teams get a bye. Not the Browns. Instead, they return home and immediately face the Steelers, who conveniently had their bye in week 5. So Pittsburgh comes and rested, while Cleveland's still shaking off the jet lag. And if you think it'll balance out later, think again. The Browns do get a bye, but in week 9. And who do they get to play in week 10 after that much-needed rest? The New York Jets, who also just happen to be coming off their own bye. Any benefit from the bye week? Gone. Neutralized. It's almost like someone at NFL Scheduling HQ had a vendetta. And then there's the start of the season. Brutal doesn't even begin to describe it. Week 1, Bengals. Week 2, Ravens. Week 3, Packers. Week 4, Lions. Week 5, Vikings in London. Week 6, Steelers, on the road, off their bye. That's 6 straight weeks against potential playoff teams, including 3 division rivals and 4 teams that won double-digit games last year. The first break? Maybe week 8 against the Patriots. And even that's no guarantee if Drake May starts to find his rhythm. This isn't just a tough schedule. This is a gauntlet. And for a team trying to recover from a last-place finish in the AFC North, it feels like punishment instead of parity. The Browns were supposed to benefit from a 4th-place schedule, playing other teams that also finished at the bottom. Instead, they're facing one of the toughest slates in the NFL. The AFC North's floor is too high, with even the Bengals finishing 9-8. So the Browns are stuck with a schedule that does not reflect their rebuilding status. So here's the deal, Browns fans. If Cleveland can get through the first 6 weeks with even a .500 record, it should be considered a major win. Because the NFL didn't just forget about the Browns, it may have actively stacked the deck against them. And here's where the story deepens even more, because while the schedule is already stacked with obstacles, the implications of each stretch go far beyond just win-loss columns. They affect the quarterback battle, team morale, injury risks, and potentially even Kevin Stefanski's job security. Let's not pretend otherwise. If the Browns limp through that first 6-week stretch at 1-5 or 2-4, the conversation in Cleveland and across the league won't just be about bad luck or scheduling quirks. It'll be about leadership, accountability, and what comes next for a franchise that has never been able to settle into a rhythm long enough to truly build something lasting. One of the most critical elements hiding within this brutal start is its impact on the quarterback situation. Right now, the Browns don't even know who's going to start week 1. Shedeur Sanders, the rookie, is the most tantalizing name. But he's still a rookie, competing in a room filled with veterans like Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel. And let's be honest, that's not exactly a murderer's row of elite QB options. But with 6 challenging opponents out of the gate, Cleveland won't have the luxury of easing someone like Sanders into the role. They'll either need him to be ready immediately or throw someone else into the fire and hope they don't burn. But maybe the biggest story, the one lurking beneath the frustration over rest days and missed primetime spots, is the potential for all this adversity to either galvanize or fracture the locker room. Charles Woodson joining the ownership group adds a respected, experienced voice to the franchise, but ownership is one thing. Influence is another. Will he have a voice in how this team is shaped? Will his presence help guide a young, battle-tested group through the kind of adversity they're about to face? Because that adversity isn't hypothetical. It's real, it's coming fast, and it's relentless. There's also the question of momentum. A slow start can derail a season before it even begins, especially for a team trying to establish an identity. It's not just about who you play, it's when and where. And Cleveland is getting no favors from the when and where portion of the equation. No soft stretches, no rest advantage, no easy flights or long homestands early in the year. Instead, it's a chaotic shuffle between tough opponents, cross-Atlantic travel, and zero recovery time in between. Even if the Browns manage to find footing mid-season, the damage from the early gauntlet might already be done. And with a front office and coaching staff under constant scrutiny, they don't get infinite patience. This is a season that could define the next 5 years of Browns football, either as the moment they began to turn it around, or the year everything cracked under pressure. The one silver lining? Adversity builds resilience. If the Browns can survive this, if they can claw their way to 6 or 7 wins in spite of all this, it will say more about the team's culture, its coaching, and its young talent than any padded win total ever could. The fans are hungry. The ownership just made a bold move with Woodson. The roster has pieces, especially on defense. The only question is whether they can hold it all together long enough to weather the storm. This is the story of the 2025 Cleveland Browns, a team with everything to prove and nothing handed to them. And now, it's your turn. Let's be real, this season won't just test the Browns' football ability. It will test their identity. It will test if Kevin Stefanski can unify a locker room under siege by an unforgiving schedule, uncertain quarterback leadership, and external doubt from every direction. There's no hiding from what's coming. If anything, it's a call to arms. This team has been overlooked, underestimated, and underrepresented, but that's nothing new for Cleveland. What is new is the potential brewing under all this chaos. The addition of Woodson, the raw talent of rookies like Shedeur Sanders, the leadership of veterans like Jordan Hicks, and a fan base that never wavers, those are the intangibles that don't show up on a schedule card. If the Browns can channel all that, if they can weather the opening storm, they won't just win games, they'll earn respect. And maybe, by season's end, we won't be talking about how the NFL did them dirty. We'll be talking about how they turned the league on its head. If you're a diehard fan who's been through every high and low, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation in the comments. What do you expect from the Browns this season? Are you ready for the fight ahead? Or do you think the NFL really did stack the odds against Cleveland? I want to hear your take, because this season, more than any before, it's going to be a roller coaster, and we'll be riding it together.